Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, teenagers and adults, this is the Loud House Critic, but in this video, I'm known as Torian. And finally, I finished all my Season 5 episodes from the Loud House, and now I'm going to get into my top 7 best and hated episodes from that season. And today's video, I'm actually going to do my 7 best and favorite lovable Loud House episodes that I enjoy and liked. Don't!
Get it?
Shut up! That boy can feel pain.
Sigh.
Resident Upheaval. Now this was an episode I kind of likely enjoyed. Not so much, but I actually do enjoy some moments, and there is something that could have worked better for this episode. Even though it's a Clink and McCloud episode, and they're trying to do something for both their nanas, and yet later during the second act, they dressed up like them, even though Scooch actually did know it was them the whole entire time. But once I think the episode could have worked better if it was just Myrtle and Nana Gill actually meeting. Like somehow this felt like a Clink and McCloud episode, only it's with their nanas interacting. And I think it would have been very heartwarming and actually cute if they would have actually known that their grandson is actually friends with their grandson. In other words, Lincoln and Clyde. And when I saw the episode, I loved Nana Gill as much as I love my grandmother on my mom's side of the family. And likely, I wouldn't find anything unlikable with Myrtle or Nana Gill. In fact, I don't even know if they actually done anything unlikable yet, and I hope they don't. Undercover Mom. Now, normally when it comes to a Read Aloud episode, I normally actually would review those on Mother's Day. But this, along with The Right Stuff, A Novel Idea, and Sleepless in Royal Woods, I consider some really great moments with Read Aloud in the episodes. But even though what she did in this episode was really sneaky and quite dirty as well for knowing all her older sister's secrets, when she was disguising herself as Britta, hell, I'm too damn surprised that they didn't even know it was their own mom in disguise just wearing a red wig. Even Bugs Bunny would actually know that's Rita. But there's some movies I actually enjoyed that actually do this very well, such as with Miss Doubtfire and Mulan. And there are some great moments I actually got to laugh out, especially with Lana when she said, "Don't worry, I'll have it cleaned up by the time Mom gets home," and Rita almost blows her top, and then she learns not to lose her shit in front of her own kids. And the ending does really come off bittersweet, and it does pay off for what she did after when her cover was blowing. There are things that did get a little repetitive and recycled, but you know what? You believe Rita actually wants to be with her kids, and she wants to be there to support them, and she does want them to hang out with her. And it's just to show you how good of a mother Rita can be. Even if she and Lindsay are a bunch of hypocrites, but I still love her from this day. Zack Attack. While he's not my favorite character throughout the Loud House entire series, but an episode like this actually does fit him, and even the storyline actually goes with this character. I'm surprised they did not do this with either Lincoln and Clyde, because if they did, I would have hated this episode. But how the way it fits for Zack, making the entire Royal Woods actually believe that there are aliens, even that he pretend that he made one up, and then it goes in suddenly into the lie reveal, which I usually hate so much of my time. But at least it's kind of the first lie reveal on this character and not in the Loud House, because if that was the case, I would have hated it even more, because there are way too many lie reveals in the Loud House characters. But there's some moments I actually enjoy, especially even the title card. The colors in this, oh my gosh, I just love them. This is so Zack. Especially when this is a good interaction with him and his parents throughout the entire episode. I just wish we could have an episode with Stella and her family. And even in the ending when Flip saves Zack's hide to make the whole entire townspeople believe that there are actually aliens just so that he can get money and paid for it. Do aliens actually exist in this show? We may never know. But I can say one thing though, everything in outer space is a mystery to us all. Animal House. I've said this before and I'll say it again. There are episodes I love that have Lana Loud focus as the main focus. It's Lana Loud taking care of 3 exotic pets in different area locations, and things get a little more zany with her taking care of a llama, a penguin, and a flying squirrel. Even though there aren't too many of her siblings in this episode, but you know what? At least it has a story to focus with. But I do kind of get bad for Lana when she's got to go back and forth trying to feed them and trying to take care of them. Suddenly she brings them back to her house without both her parents even noticing them, and things get completely out of control. And in the ending, she finally gives in to let them actually move out to be taken care of somewhere else in the What's Wildlife reserves. The story is great, even though I found some things that are a little repetitive when I actually found that some of the storyline is kind of like Scales of Justice when she was trying to save the fish surgeons' homes. Oh well, back then they had Lana interacting with animals until she started interacting with humans in the sweepstakes. I just hope we actually get more of those kind of episodes. But all in all, I really enjoyed so much this episode, and I really enjoyed Lana's character. And I did really enjoy reviewing the episode too, especially some fun trivia that so many people didn't even notice about, especially with the Ohio tragedy at that zoo. If you like Lana and if you love animals, then I guess you'll have a good time with this episode. Dream a Lily Dream. This episode, I can't help but enjoy it so much, especially when I got sucked into it. Lily's having so many nightmares that night, and Lisa's much of the cause of all this, even though we've seen some of these creatures in the previous episodes, especially when most of them were in season 1. So she, Lenny, Lincoln, Lola, and Lynn decide to get themselves inside Lily's dream and try to eliminate her nightmares for good so she can sleep peacefully at night. And I don't know so many people, even Michael, would actually complain about how cartoony it gets when they're actually in the dream, but you know what? It's the imaginated mind of anybody. That's what mostly dreams are. So clearly you could just do about anything about it. If you could sit through and watch A Nightmare on Elm Street, then you could definitely go with this episode. Only consider it more kid-friendly and no blood or guts getting spilled out. Because I really enjoyed so much the tone of this episode, especially what they were getting themselves through, especially some great callbacks from season 1 and 2. And even the running gag when somebody's actually fell asleep in the shrubs. Kind of got a little annoying every once in a while, but that's just a minor nitpick. And I kind of thought that Flip being the actual big main monster for the climax was actually kind of, to me. I was expecting actually a new character or a new Loud House villain to actually be in it, like somewhere between a mix between Beetlejuice and Freddy Krueger, only just to have fingers like snakes. But somehow it didn't stop me from loving this episode, especially with the ending.
Huh? They had a good dream about you.
That almost tore me up, and I am so grateful I reviewed that in October. In fact, hell, I actually watched this before I watched the original Nightmare on Elm Street. If they could do a scary movie for adults, and I guess they can kind of do a scary episode, and I guess they could do something scary for the kids. That does kind of make a reference from the actual horror movie itself. Go see for yourself and check it out, and let me know what you thought of it. She's all bat. Now, I don't need to remind everyone about why I love this episode so much, especially when I reviewed it. Because when you've got Pink and Black together, you have Lucy and Lola together. And I think there are some really great cute moments with these two. Especially when these two are considered one of my favorite characters. And I'm about the only person who loves the interactions with Lucy and Lola in every episode that they both appear in. Even in this episode, if Lucy was a bit unlikable just because she tried to eliminate Lola because she felt threatened in the group because they needed 7 members. And yet throughout much of the episode, she tried not letting Lola actually join her group. And just because she joined the group, she's starting to lighten things up a little bit, which I really so much enjoy. Hell, I would enjoy Lola's company if I was throwing a party of my own. And Lucy did try to scare her a few times, including the last one, which I somewhat really enjoyed until her cover got blown by a crow. But in the end, it actually makes everything up for it. And that hug between the two, it was so cute. I actually really adored this one a lot more than I did with Lou Ann and Lola. Actually, I'll enjoy both of these characters on the same level. And both of these episodes ever make me wonder if Lola will ever return to the Morticians to actually have a little visit or get back on stage with Lou Ann as her acting partner. Whatever you think of this episode, it's really not that bad. It's just cute in its own very way, especially if you're watching this in the month of October. And from my number one most favorite, lovable, likable Loud House episode, I consider one of my best time favorite is Camped. Holy crap. This episode, when it first came out, there was a lot of things I predicted and I was proven wrong 100%. Oh my gosh. There was so much love in this episode and there was so much effort that was actually put into it. And I consider it one of the best Loud House episode specials. In fact, hell, this episode should have ended season 5 on a high note. At least it would be better than Cooked. Because if you enjoyed National Treasure, Indiana Jones, The Goonies, Treasure Island, Treasure Planet, then you will have a ball with this episode for treasure hunting. As in this episode, it turns out Camp Mastodon, Lynn Sr.'s childhood camp-like place, is being shut down, and they arrive there and they discover a map that was from Captain Kidd's treasure boat, and he and the family actually go on a treasure hunt to actually find the treasure to save Camp Mastodon. You got hidden clues to solve, you got a couple of scary monsters, a Wolverine, one song from Luna, all that good excitement stuff that you would see in a treasure hunting movie. And this episode actually marks the first appearance of Gramps Loud, Lynn Sr.'s dad and the kid's grandfather. And in the very end, the camp manager actually retires from Camp Mastodon, and Leonard actually takes over the camp. And the most thing about the episode is everybody in the Loud family got their share in the spotlight. Even if one part in this episode got me angry at some point, but it didn't keep me angry that much long. So there wasn't that much hating going on with this episode as much as I really enjoyed this episode. Hell, in fact, I enjoy it more than Cooked, Tripped, or even more worse, Time Trapped. This is a Loud House episode special I would enjoy every moment and watch over and over again anytime when summer comes. Because when I'm watching Disney's Treasure Planet, I think about watching this Loud House episode special, Camped. This episode totally sucked me in and it grabbed me. I just cannot believe how unpredictable this episode special really is. Even if there were some things I predicted that was gonna happen, but I got proven wrong about it. Because I almost thought it was gonna be boring and generic, but man, oh man. Even I enjoyed Flip's misery in this episode. I swear, season 5 could have ended so much better if they used this episode to finish big. But so many worse episodes, so little time. Speaking about that, I cannot wait to tell everybody what my top 7 worst episodes from season 5 are, as you guys would probably guess about which ones they are. Till then, I'll see you next time.
I'll find her. I'll find her and I'll find her if I have to burn down all of